coach, right, you want it to be mindset, same every game. So you have to downplay this. But like, at what point does the temperatures, how do you handle that? I guess is my question, right?
There's no such thing as cold weather, just a lack of preparation. That's what we say around here.
So how do you prepare for it?
Says the person that hates the cold more than anyone. Remember, Baton Rouge is the furthest north I've ever lived, so.
So how do you get your girls prepared for it? Is it really just hand warmers and hot chocolate? Or
We'll definitely have our fair share of hand warmers and hot chocolate, but just hitting outside, practice the next couple days too, like just not really shying away from it, not even making it a thing. Like I think we're going to have a million different conditions, whether it be heat or delay games or, I mean, you name it. We talk all the time about there's no easy road. So I think just not making it a big deal and just continuing to ask them to perform in whatever conditions there are.
It seems to be a theme, just talking with the girls, that we're kind of getting is that they're addressing their issues head on. Is that a lot of accountability and amongst the team? Is that something that you're seeing with this club?
Yeah, I mean, I think this team is really just toughness has been their whole goal here, is just to be a little tougher, be tougher in every at bat, be tougher in every moment. I think when it comes down to it, just holding each other accountable is another way to be tough, right? So I think they're just trying to find different ways to be competitive at all times, be tough at all times, and require that from everybody around them.
What did you take away from beating 4 ranked opponents this past weekend, early in the year?
I think it was a great test. I think everyone is excited that we stood up to the test, and I think, a lot of hope, a lot of excitement moving forward from this group. I think a lot of confidence right now. They're feeling good about themselves and, keeping them grounded, keeping them working, making sure that they're still getting better every day because they're far from, at the end of this marathon.
Heavner, how do you get excited and not throw too much at her too soon as a freshman?
Yeah, I definitely feel that at times. There's some things I'd like to make better with her mechanically, but then I also think man, just let her throw it, grip it and rip it, But I think it's really fun coaching her. I'm enjoying every minute with her in the bullpen and in the games. She's just a joy to be around. She does her work. She hits too. We haven't got to see her a ton at the plate yet. Hopefully we will this weekend, but just shows up, does all the work. It's so hard to do both, and she's early and, gets it all done, and it's just fun coaching a player like that.
And Macy, she's not a high-strung individual, as she kind of joked about. She seems real calm and is that the kind of presence you need as a catcher behind the plate? And she kind of jokes she keeps all the pitchers in check, too.
Well, they say the best catchers go unnoticed, right? Kind of like the best umpires. You didn't even notice them in the game, but they say the best catchers go unnoticed. The thing about Macy is she does so many different parts of her game well. She throws so well. She receives so well. Her run save number is at the top of the country just because of how well she receives and wins pitches for our pitcher. So, and now you add this incredible offensive production she's having to the type of catcher she already is, and she's a really, really special player, which we've had for a couple of years, but I think it's going to be hard not to notice Macy Bowser on here in the coming weeks.
You replaced a lot of senior leadership from your lineup last year, and still haven't skipped a beat. What's kind of led to this team gelling together so well so soon?
I think we still have a lot of key pieces. Danica Coffey, Macy, Mackenzie Rudity from the group last year. And then we have great pitching. Sid Berzon, I think, sets a tone for us every time she takes the mound. So I think that'll keep us in every ball game. I think it's easier to hit when you're not going to have to score, 8, 10, 12 in a game. It's easier to go out and hit when you have Sid Berzon that's going to shut them down on the mound.
How about that? Just a little bit more depth in the circle, a little bit more arms you can lean on. I know it's early, but do you feel like that's going to be a strength for you? As far as keeping Sid, available, fresher, and then just, I guess, the confidence that everybody kind of can take from that.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're known for. I think we've never kind of been just one arm kind of a deal, just an ace only kind of a program. Last year with Kelly Lynch adding to the depth of the group. I think we have had a lot of depth in the past, and that's what makes our bullpen so strong. I think this year's group is strong as well. I think there's a ton of different looks, with Tatum Clopton being a little bit more changeup, a little bit slower. Casanova, Vallejo, I think we have a lot of different looks. So people preparing for us are going to have trouble deciding what they're going to get ready for.
That's one of the things Macy said. She likes catching different style of pitchers, and obviously it helps keep the opponents off balance.
Yeah, I don't know if you can find two different styles any more than Heavner and Berzon. They're about as different as you can be in just the way they pitch, the way they go about their business, everything. It's like a Hoover Walljasper-esque. I think we used to call them like the fire and the ice. They were so different in what they did, right? But these two are so different. Sid is so calculated. Everything is about different speeds and different spots and being crafty. And then Jaden is really just powering it by people. I joke about grip it and rip it, but she's not trying to be perfect or locate it perfect or do any of the things. She's just trying to go beat people with her competitiveness.
How do you like your infield? Feel like it's really kind of come together?
I think they need some more time. I think led by Danica, led by Avery Hodge, they're continuing to grow. I think, that's a group that hasn't played together a ton. We've made some different changes there at second base, seeing both McKee and Daniel. So I think they need a little time to come together, but they're very talented, and I'm sure they will.
What about Coffee? I mean, doesn't look like she had an injury last year so far.
Well, she's that good. I mean, she's a special player. She's one of the best in the country. That's why she's been on all these watch lists to start the year. The season-ending deal with her was a huge blow for the team. I don't know if anybody felt it the way we did, but never could really find a leadoff hitter because there isn't another one like her in the country. I mean, she's as special as you can find. So, would have loved to have her last year, but silver lining is she's leading this group, and it's a special group too.
For the third straight year, you guys are starting 10-0. But what can you tell us that's different from this year's team than the past prior?
I think this is a completely different style of team. I think, I don't want to say they're more athletic, but different type of athletes, speed players. Like I talked about, toughness and competitiveness. I think we've preached some different things to this group and just try to be more durable throughout the season. I think it's interesting, like 10-0 the last 3 years, but maybe haven't performed late the way we wanted them to. So how do we give them that toughness to go through the grind of SEC play where you're playing a top 10 team every weekend? And one of the things we wanted to do was just build in some toughness and the speed game. Hopefully you're noticing a lot of hard 60s when we run to first base. We're running full speed. We're trying to beat everything out, putting pressure on defenses. So hopefully you're seeing that style of play when you watch us this year.
Do you use a weekend like this to get a look at some different girls in different spots?
Well, number one, we got to win 5 games this weekend, one at a time, one pitch at a time. But hopefully there are some opportunities to see some people. Hopefully, get a few people some rest and get some people some at-bats. It's going to take all of us as we move forward. So it'll be a good opportunity to see that.